What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video I'm going to show you all of the favors that Brock and Sindri have to offer in God of War. Now there's 5 of them. Now I'd recommend doing these when you're done with the game, but you can start some of them after the water lowers around the Sea of Nines. The last one, however, you can only do once Brock and Sindri reunite. Now these favors do give you some rewards. They also give you a trophy when you're done with all 5 of them called Like Oil and Water. And also a good reason to do these is that if you're going for all of the collectibles to get those trophies, well, these favors do unlock certain points on the map that gate certain collectibles. So anyways, this first favor is called Second Hand Soul. Now what Brock is currently telling you is he wants you to go to the Volunder mines to find his friend and Vari because he hasn't heard of him in some time. So you want to head to the Volunder mines on your map. He gave you an entry stone to get in there because there's a gateway. That is where the entrance path is. Just sail there on your boat like I currently am. And now remember, you can only get to this place once the water lowers, I believe. So here we are just coming up to the land. Once you get on the land, there will be a lift there. There's also some hack silver if you want to grab that. And also at the top of this lift, there is a raven if you get to the top of it and turn around. Just letting you know. But here we are just crawling through this path with Atreus. And I believe Brock will be on the other side of it. Yeah, you can see the little blue mark there. There's Brock. Just walk up. You don't really have to talk to him. Just go over to the point to place the entry thing that he gave you to unlock the Volunder mines. And it will just unlock there. There's also a little Norse writing thing for experience that Atreus can read. But just continuing on here, you're going to come up to this Soul Eater. And Atreus tells you that this thing will, if it kills you, well, you won't go to Helheim, you won't go to Valhalla, you'll just vanish out of existence.
That's it. No Valhalla, no hell, no afterlife, ever.
It does not attack.
Mom made them sound more dangerous than that.
Then do not drop your guard.
Now he doesn't immediately engage you, but spoiler alert, you will have to kill him at the end. So dropping down here, there are some guys to kill. I'm going to cut out a lot of the fighting here because you know how to fight and it's just a waste of time to watch it. But after you kill the guys in that area, you want to lift up this gate with Atreus and then just continue on your path up here. And I believe there are witches. Yep, there's a witch you'll have to kill. Witches are probably my least favorite enemy in this game. But there is also, after you kill those witches, there is a chest behind some planks that you can knock out if you want that. It's just a hack silver chest. And then continuing over here, I see that there's a rune thing. You need to get 3 seals to go to the next area. And there's also a resource chest down there. So I'm just going to grab that resource chest because why not? You can never have too many resources, but there are some nightmares around the resource chest. So kill those. You can grab that resource chest, and now I'll have to find all of my seals. There's also, I think this is a treasure map, or it might be a lore piece. No, I don't know. It's one or the other. Anyways, continuing down here, I'm just kind of looking around for the seals. I see one right there. This is in your path. It's not really out of the way too much. You can see the 3 seals up there. And then also, around that area, there's a gate that you can open up with a resource chest and also another one of the seals, and also you get a closer look of the Soul Eater, which has the green ring that Brock was talking to you about on him. Means that Andvari, I think is what Brock's friend's name was, got killed by the Soul Eater. So that's a shame. But as you saw, I just got the seal there. There's the resource chest, and then turning around, leaving this area to find the 3rd seal, but there's nightmares and more things that you have to kill. And the 3rd seal, it took me a bit to find. I couldn't really, I don't know. I was just having trouble finding it. But coming up here, this is where you killed the witches. And this is the door that you saw earlier with the 3 seals at the top. I hit that thing just because I felt like it, and I didn't realize that there was a seal right below it. So the seal is right below that explosive thing. So hit that. It'll take out the seal. You can then continue on to the next area. Some hack silver if you want that. And the next area is where the Soul Eater is, which, as I said before, you're going to have to kill him. These guys aren't really too difficult to kill, I don't think anyway. And Kratos just said something about like be careful, no sudden movements, but I just ran up to the Soul Eater anyway. Now to kill the Soul Eaters, you do not want to get close to them at all because they'll just hit the ground. As you see, I'm not really learning my lesson. But you want to stand at a distance, charge up your axe to throw it, and as soon as he opens his chest, just throw the axe. And I would do the heavy attack because it does a ton of damage as you saw there. And also Atreus' shots do literally nothing to him. But just keep throwing your axe at his stomach. He does drop these little orbs you can pick up and throw back at him, which fills up that red bar by a lot. And once that red bar is filled, he will kind of become like incapacitated. Sort of run up to him, press R3, jump on him, and you start just going ham, punching him in the stomach multiple times. And you're just going to keep doing that until he dies. And I did almost die, so maybe they're not super easy, but easy enough. And this guy comes out of nowhere and almost kills me. But I'm just going to pick up whatever he had laying there. He does drop some good materials to craft some good gear. This is the green ring that you need, and you're going to bring that back to Brock. So I'm just picking up everything. He drops this enhancement. I don't really care for the enhancement. And then some rage burst. Now to get back to Brock, oh, there is also a chest here that gives you a weapon attack thing. I don't know which weapon it's for. It's a heavy or light attack for the something. Light runic attack for the axe. But it sucks, so I didn't use it. There's not really any other collectibles around here. You then want to get Atreus to jump up here. Atreus will then let down a chain, and then you continue on your path to this zip line where more guys to kill, obviously, some nightmares and another dude, and then just continue on your path. After this tunnel with these like 3 guys that you kill or something, you come up to the end here, but then before you go down that chain, to the left there is a hack silver chest. So get that because why not? And then go down the chain, and this place should look familiar. This is where you first saw the Soul Eater, and then you continue on to Brock. You bring the ring to Brock, and Brock's like, oh well, whatever, because the dude has no empathy. I accidentally went into the shop. You don't want to go into the shop. You want to press triangle, not circle. And that is finishing up soul, second-hand soul is what it's called, I believe.
Well, you must have burned away the rest of him.
Suppose you'll still be wanting some compensation, huh?
Naturally.
Naturally, he says. Miani Feruxi.
Now for the next door favor. It's called Deus Ex Malachite, something like that. You can just immediately talk to Brock after you finish the first favor, and he tells you that he thinks he knows where Anvari is. He's pretty sure at least, and he wants you to meet him at the Land Southern Mines, which is like on the other side of the map.
It's just south of the river pass. Now you two want something, or you just gonna stand there all gag-scrapped and slack-jawed?
And there is the Land Southern Mines on your map. Just going to go there on your boat. And now these dwarf quests do take around maybe 15-ish, 20-ish minutes, except the last one. The last one takes like 30 minutes at least. But once you dock, you're just going to follow your path all the way to Brock. There's also a Mystic Gateway there, just in case you ever want to fast travel here, because there are a few collectibles that are gated behind this gate that he's about to give you the key for. So Brock has the green ring that you gave him from the first favor, and then he tosses it to Atreus, and it talks to him, because Anvari like captured his soul in the ring, something like that, and he wants you to get his hammer, which is through the Land Southern Mines, a fair bit through it, and that's essentially what this entire favor is asking of you.
And then he...
What about all his stuff?
Huh?
Anvari had a workshop here with all sorts of posh doodads and ornatery tools, and one beaut of a hammer. You make mention of it still in there?
You're upsetting him.
Your point? You fellas take Anvari with you and go have a look-see. If you find his hammer, I'll whip up something real nice for you. Hey now, don't go forgetting your entry stone.
Now just take the entry stone about 2 meters over, and you'll place it in there to open the door into the Land Southern Mines. And then just through here, continue on your path, and you'll come up to these dudes that bury into the ground. I also hate these guys. These are probably my second least favorite enemies to kill. But there's also a chest, a resource chest behind there. Don't worry, you will get that later on. It's pretty much at the end. But just go up here, and you're going to pull this lever, which will drop something for you to climb on. It will drop that. Just go on the other side of it, and you will climb up it. There is a sap thing for a trace to shoot with the shock arrows. It will drop that, and it will create a giant hole for you to go down in. But as soon as you get off that thing you were just climbing on, there's enemies that you're going to have to kill. Dark Elves. I also really do not like Dark Elves. They're like my third least favorite enemy in the game. I pretty much hate all enemies in this game besides Nightmares because those are easy. But you're going to climb down here just a little bit of a ways, and then you're going to go to either your left or your right because there is a resource chest for you to get, and a trace is in my way. But you're going to get that resource chest. So just grab that if you want it. And then you're going to go back onto the thing to climb down, and once you climb down all the way, there is my favorite enemy, the Nightmares. We were just talking about them. But just clean those up. And there's these things, I don't know what you call these, but you first saw these in Alfheim. You need to get a good angle to destroy both of them. That's just going to bring you to a resource chest, which there's a Nightmare guarding it. Now, before you climb up here to continue on, there was a lift to your left, I believe, and I think that lift brought you to the resource chest that you saw earlier on. I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me right. But you're going to come up here, continuing on, and you're going to have to angle yourself right to take out all three of these at the same time, so you might have to back up like I am, and then aim to the left side of that first one. And then just keep following the path, and you'll come into this big open room, where there is Nightmares and other things to kill. There's also a Soul Eater just laying there, as you see, but there's also a Traveler here. Travelers are, the big brute guys, and you kind of do want to kill them because they do give some good resources, but the Soul Eater you saw earlier is dead, so you won't have to fight him. But continuing on there, you just saw a hack silver chest that was behind some planks. I do get that in a bit, but behind those things, there is a resource chest, so you can go in and grab that. Also, Atreus tells you that this resource chest will set off traps. At least that's what the Soul Eater told him. You want to open it regardless, and there's not really any traps that set off. But here I am just getting the hack silver chest that I passed by earlier, and then continuing on to the main path. You're just going to keep going around, keep going. There's not really any detours. Oh, well, there is some Dark Elves you have to kill. But as you continue on, this part that you jump over, and then you want to activate this lever, which will lift that thing you see in front of you, and that will show some place that you can climb. So take the zip line down and then climb up here, and then once you climb up here, there's like a boss Dark Elf for you to kill. So a more difficult Dark Elf than you've been fighting before. Just kill him. Not all that difficult, but they are Dark Elves after all. And then once you kill him, there is a place for you to shoot a trace up, and he will open this gate. And then this is the ending area. There's a little lore thing for a trace to pick up, and then a chest here which doesn't give you a heavy or light runic attack. It actually gives you the hammer that you're wanting to get. So I'll open that here in a minute. Just open that chest, and it will give you your whole reason of going into these mines. It's Andavari's hammer. And then once you open that chest, there is how to get out of here is that there's a trolley to your left, up this way, trolley that you send downwards, and it will destroy some rubble for you to leave this area. And I run up to it, and it doesn't let me down for some reason. I'm super confused because I don't know. I must be in combat with something. I don't know what I'm in combat with, but it took me a while to figure out that there's a guy that spawned that I was in combat with, which is, you can't interact with other things when you're in combat with them. But you just want to let that chain down and then just follow the path to leave. The path's pretty straightforward, and just leave. And that'll be the end of the second favor. It'll actually be the end of Brock's favors.
Hand him over here and I'll melt him down.
What? You're going to melt down your friend?
A trapped soul's what I need to give your reward some extra oomph. You don't want it?
Father, we can't do that. Here, you hold on to him. He's really useful, I promise.
Fine. So long as he proves his worth.
Next favor is called Fafnir's Horde. You want to come to Fafnir's storeroom, as you see there on the map. And here's Sindri. So Sindri's going to have two favors for you. This favor, he wants you to go into Fafnir's storeroom with the key that he's going to give you. And there's some dwarf that hid some things away in there. So that's what you're going to retrieve.
Shall we say aggressive collector of magical artifacts? The more he acquired, the more he desired. There was no realm too dangerous, no relic too hazardous. He once ventured deep into Niflheim for a whetstone of all things. Huh. I bet that was quite the whetstone.
Does this story have a point?
Yes, it does. I just happen to have an entry stone to Fafnir's storeroom. You might find something useful in there.
Neat. Thanks, Sindri.
You're very welcome. Oh, and if you find that whetstone, well, it sure would be nice of you to bring it to me.
So now heading here on the path. Now I've actually been inside Fafnir's storeroom, by the way. There's also a lot of guys around here that you'll have to kill. But I've been inside because I was getting collectibles before this. So I'm able to actually just go through the front door. If you're not able to, there's a waterfall to your right. You can go behind the waterfall, and that is a second entrance into Fafnir's storeroom. Now once you enter the storeroom, you're going to use the entry crystal on this thing here in the middle, the entry thing that Sindri gave you. You're going to use it on this, and it will open up a path. One of 4 paths around you into another room. So I'm just looking around for the path, and it's right there. Go into that room, and there will be enemies for you to kill. Now there's actually 4 of these. You're going to have to do this multiple times. So just kill the enemies in there, and then one of the enemies is going to drop Fafnir's entry crystal, something like that. You'll see me pick it up here in a second. Fafnir's entry stone. So you want to make sure you pick that up, and then you want to leave the area. That actually took me a while to figure out, but you want to actually leave that room. So leave it, and there's going to be more enemies for you to kill, and then you use that new entry stone on the same circular object that you see in the middle of the room. And then the path that you were just on will go down, and then a new path will come up, and it's there. And there's, I think, Muspelheim, whatever that place is called, enemies in here. There's a poison thing at the top. Use your frozen axe on it so you don't get hurt. So all the enemies in here, you have to, well, you can use your rage thing, like I am, or you can use your whatever other weapon you have. So pick up the new entry stone, and you're going to repeat that process. Go back out in the middle, use the entry stone on the cylindrical object in the middle of the room, and path will go down, and a new path will come up. So go into that room, kill the enemies in there. There are witches. As I said before, I hate witches. And then make sure you pick up the new Fafnir entry stone. And then you're going to do that a 4th time. Well, you're going to leave the room, and there's going to be enemies for you to kill. But then you're going to do that a 4th time. Put the crystal in there. This is the last time, I swear. Put the entry stone in there. Last path will go down. New path will come up. So just go into this new area, and there's a bunch of wolves you have to kill. Wolves are easy. Kill them, pick up the last Fafnir entry stone, and there's also a resource chest in here. So get that, walk out, put the new entry stone in the cylindrical object, and then you will go in through the last path. And then through here, this looks like a big boss battle area, but it's not. Well, I think you do have to kill an ogre in here, but there is a chest which will give you I think it's a light runic attack for your axe. It is a light runic attack for your axe, and it's actually not too bad, except it's aimed, and I don't really like the aimed ones. But there's going to be a spirit that you have to talk to here, which will actually activate a new spirit favor. I think it does, but the spirit is for the dwarf favor that you're on.
It was his turn to lead my crew. I was hard on him, sure. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I did the same thing to my dad when I was his age.
He killed his own father?
Where is he now?
He may be a bastard, but he's my bastard. You'll get no help from me, fool.
Then his dagger will help.
Hey! That's mine! Hey!
Come, boy. We are leaving.
So there's that. There's actually a bit of a reference, if you caught that, to the past games. But there's an ogre here you have to kill, or troll. I don't know what they call him in this game. And then you want to leave Fafnir's storeroom, and lo and behold, there will be enemies out here for you to kill, more specifically a soul eater. So I don't know what I'm doing right here, but yeah. And then go back to Sindri, and you'll tell him all that he needs to know. And that is the end of the third dwarf favor.
Take this in exchange for the dagger.
Now the next dwarf favor is called family business. You can just immediately talk to Sindri again, and you'll talk about the dagger that you gave him from the last favor, and he seems very infatuated by this whetstone, and he thinks he knows where you can find the whetstone because of a crest on the dagger, and you have to go to Northry Stronghold.
They took their haul from Fafnir's storeroom, along with that whetstone that I could use to help you.
So here's Northry Stronghold on your map. It's more to the northwestish, and just going to sail there on your boat. And then once you get to the door that you use the entry stone on, there is a mystical gateway there. In case you ever want to fast travel here, there's actually going to be another mystical gateway about a few meters away. So that's where you're going to dock your boat, is at this other mystical gateway, which this is where Sindri is, to continue your favor.
Please take utmost care while handling it. It is a priceless relic after all.
I still can't believe a son would kill his own father. That's crazy, right? I know, we only got one side of the story. But come on, his own father? I mean, I get angry at you sometimes, but...
Do you?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. A little. But I'd never stab you in the back.
No. I imagine.
So there was more of a reference to the past games, but you want to keep sailing on your path and then dock here. There's of course going to be some guys for you to kill. And then moving on right here, there's a chest right there. As you see, you will be able to get that chest later. Don't worry. There's also a witch. And then just jump across here. Continuing on the path up here, you want to go to your left, and then there's a poison thing that you want to throw your axe at. So that then you can get into this hack silver chest. And then going the other direction, there is a watermill here, and you want to throw your axe at that to activate the watermill, and that will make the gate rise. And then before you get on your boat, as you may have just saw, as soon as I passed that to jump, there was something to my left I could have climbed up, but I didn't realize it, so don't make the same mistake as me and climb up that to see what it is, and then you can let me know. So you want to keep sailing on, and then you will dock just a few meters away, and there's a ogre you have to kill, plus some guys, and then you want to take your axe after you kill them to break that thing, to climb up these rocks that just fell. And then once you climb up these, you want to go this way first, because you always want to go to the dead ends since there's stuff in there. Use Atreus' lightning arrows to get rid of that sap, and then throw your axe at this poison thing. And there's some hack silver to your right, and then to your left is a way down. And this ultimately leads to a resource chest, I believe. So just going down here. There's another thing for Atreus to shoot his shock arrows at, and that will unveil a resource chest. And then climb up after you get the resource chest. And then there's another path to your left up here. There's guys around here that you will have to kill. But over this path, there's a hack silver chest for you to get. So don't forget about that. And then just going back, continuing on the main path, jump that gap. I don't know what I was doing there. I was just kind of chilling. And then you look down and see a bunch of murdered people on that boat. So that's where you want to go. And I'm confused at what I'm supposed to do here. I need to lower this bridge. And I'm thinking there's something I have to hit. Atreus says, hey, look, there's something interesting here. And there is something I have to hit with my axe. I just didn't realize it first. So hit that. And then you'll go across. And you'll see a bunch of murdered people here with the whetstone that Sindri just seems so infatuated by.
This is the sun.
That ghost son? How do you know?
The sigil. It matches the dagger we found in his father's back. He stood his ground, but it was not enough.
They betrayed him.
Betrayal begets betrayal. My guess, the young one murdering his dad didn't sit well with the others.
He thought himself ready to lead. It cost him his life.
I guess.
Look there, lad, by his feet.
The whetstone!
Yes. They used it to smash his face in.
They did? Ew.
Now once you pick up that whetstone, there will be guys that come on the ships, travelers more specifically, for you to kill. And just showing you that one of them dropped a legendary, epic, whatever it's called, talisman. I forget if that's good or not. But just continuing on, there is a chest behind here for you to hit sap with the shock arrows. I didn't know if this would actually work, but Atreus can shoot his shock arrows through the wall. So then he will go under there to unlock that gate, and then you can go in this chest. Now this chest doesn't have a runic ability, strange enough, because it looks like the chest that would. It just has a ton of hack silver. So continuing on to the main story path, there are nightmares and stuff you have to kill, and then make sure you have Atreus shoot a shock arrow at that boat, or not the boat, but the passage where you're going to go through as a boat, and then go under there. This is the chest that you saw at the beginning, and now you're able to get it. You unveiled the path to get there. So back on the main story path, there's a bunch of hack silver around here, and then a gate for you to raise. There's also a sap thing for you to make this gate accessible, and there's just a lore scroll there. There's a new boat for you to get on, and then you're going to, it says find a new exit, find another exit or something. So you're going to go the way that Atreus shot with his shock arrows. Now before you go all the way, there is a place for you to stop at before you open that gate. And I'm just going to turn around here and go up this path, which this path leads to a resource chest. So we're just going to grab that, and then we're going to go back, and you can open this gate, which has just some hack silver, that's it. And then once you open that, you can then pull this chain, which will open this gate. You don't have to hit your axe at anything, the gate will just stay open. So just get in your boat, and you will head back to Sindri to finish this dwarf favor. And that is the 4th favor. There's just one more to do.
Oh, wonderful! This staining is unusual.
The Reavers used it to smash another Reaver's face in.
Oh, wonderful. Here, for your trouble.
Now for the final dwarf favor, which I said at the beginning you can only do once Brock and Sindri reunite. They talk to you about the whetstone you got, the hammer you got, and that you can make something cool with them. And then they tell you to go to Conan's Guard, I think that's what it's called, for this last favor.
Dunno. Armor's pure legend, and the details is fuzzier than a wolver's butthole.
You expect us to find parts from a legend?
Oh, Motsognir the Dwarf King found 2 of them. Everyone knows that. But when he went looking for the 3rd,
Poof! He vanished. Maybe you'll find some clues at his stronghold in Conan's Guard.
and looky here, a Conan-scarred entry stone. It's got your name on it. How fucking strange.
So there's Conan's Guard on the map. Just come here on your boat, and then you will just keep going this way. It's behind one of the towers. Just dock your boat, and then you'll come to the place where you put the entry stone that they give you. And then come up to this bramble that you hit with your Blades of Chaos, and then you drop down from that chain. And then you'll end up at Sindri's shop. I just cut out a lot of fighting, but it's a linear path all the way to Sindri's shop. Now, just past this shop, there's two ways you can go. So you want to go this left way because it's a dead end, and as I said, you always want to go the dead ends first. There's a poison thing there, hit it with your axe. There are guys you have to kill, and then once you kill them, there's a resource chest, which as you see, has a guy in it. So there's a few of these in the game, but once you kill the guy, he will drop a lot of rare stuff that the resource chest would have had. So now we're going back the other way, go across this bridge, more guys you have to kill, and then you'll come up to the mystical gateway, which does have a guy spawn right beside it. And then we're going to just go the other way across another bridge, and you'll actually come up to this door, and where you can put an entry stone. You want to pick up the entry stone off the ground by that dead guy, and then you can place it in this cylindrical object, which we've seen like 20 of already. Place it in, and as you see, you need 2 more keys. That was 1 of 3 keys. So we're going to go to the left. There's left and right. I pick left way first. And you're going to keep following this way. There's some Wolvar you have to kill. And then you'll come up to this blue thing where you put a blue crystal in, and then Atreus activates it with his blue arrows. So, just skipping a lot of fighting, all the way up to this circular area where there's a soul devourer. Remember how I said to kill them? Just hit them in the chest. And then there is a, make sure you hit this bramble right up here with your chaos blades, because there's a resource chest there. Grab the resource chest, and then I turn around and I notice that there's winds, but I want to figure out where I put those winds first. So I come up here and I see the place to place them in, but I know I can't cross that in the 10-second time that the winds allow you, but I try anyway. And it miserably fails. Yeah, you cannot get over there in less than 10 seconds. So I go across there anyway just to see what's on the other side. There are some guys you have to kill, but I notice that you might see in the distance that blue crystal. That is what you need. But I notice that there's a door to put those winds on, but to get the blue crystal down, you need to use your axe on the thing above it so it drops. It floats down the river, and it just so happens to land where I'm standing. It comes on the shore. It does not keep flowing down the river. So you then want to pick up that crystal, and you probably remember where to take it. We're just going to bring it this way to the other end, and there's a gate to open to bring the blue crystal. And then with that blue crystal, we're going to place it in that blue area, blue thing that we saw earlier, and then Atreus shoots it with his arrows, and that will create a bridge above you to run across so you don't have to go across the wall. So we're going to get the winds again. Grab the winds, and then we're going to, not with your axe, you cannot grab them with your axe, you have to use the chaos blades. We're going to run back up and go, just run across that bridge, and then we're going to set our winds in that little hub. We're then going to grab our winds from there, and then just go across here. Place them in there to unlock the next area. And there's some hack silver and stuff in here, but this is where you get the key. Just go up the ledge, and the second key is right there. So now you have 2 of 3 keys. Now with this key, we're going to turn around, and you may have saw this earlier, but we're going to let those chains down. That's pretty close to the front of the entrance. And we're going to put the second key in, and then there are guys you have to kill before you go get the third key. So kill those guys, and then we're going to go take a right to where the third key is. Now, it's a pretty linear path, but I'm just going to skip a lot of the fighting until you get to this ogre. I do love fighting ogres. They're one of my favorite mobs, because once you get the red bar full, you can take control of them, and you can kill anyone else around you. Except, well, right here, I'm going to press R3 on him. But there is no one else around to kill. There's just little Atreus standing there with his bow. So I'm just going to jam my R1 button until he dies. Now, we're going to go, there are 2 ways here you can go. One just as a dead end, but with a chain, as you see. A chain that we let down. So we're going to go the other way. The other way, which is going to bring us up to this ledge. And then there are now again 2 paths to go. We're going to go to this left path because it leads to a resource chest. And then at the end of the left path, we're just going to take a right to the main path. And this is the chain that you just saw. We're going to kick that chain for easy access back up. Now we're going to come to a dragon. You can kill the dragon if you want. I'm not going to worry about him. He is one of the, I think, 3 dragons in the game that you have to kill for a trophy. And now you're just going to come up to this rune door. There's a lot of fighting around here that I just skipped. And take that sap, throw it at the N one that's behind the grate. And I'm trying to get Atreus to shoot it with the shock arrows. Not that easy. Finally ignites it, and it gets the N. And I don't realize how it gets the R. I didn't notice that there was an R around there, but it's above the N that's behind the grate. It's above it. And then there's also the C, which is over there by the sap. So we're going to pick up another sap, throw it there, have him shoot it with his shock arrows, and then it'll activate those 2, and then with our axe, just hit the C, and then we can go through this door to progress. So just skipping forward here, we're going to come to a circular area where there's like a dark elf boss type dude that we have to kill. And now the dragon will attack you, as you see, will attack you from all the way over here. But just take out the dark elf, take out the other dudes, use whatever means necessary, and then once they're all dead, we can get the third seal. And you do also have to come up here to free the dragon. But then we're just going to take the zipline down. Because as you saw, there was one of the runes to free the dragon back there. And now we're going to go back to the stronghold. So, now that we're in front of the stronghold, we can place the third seal in, and it opens. And we can go in. Now there's two ways that you can go up here. The left, I'm pretty sure, is a dead end. Well, I think it's going to be my right now, because I turn around. Or no, it is my left. My left is a shrine. I think that's a dead end. I forget. But then the other way is to progress. We're going to open up this door, and there are going to be guys to kill. A traveler, to be more specific. So kill them all, and then we'll come up to this throne chair. And I do notice the circle to move it out of the way, but I was just wondering if there's anything else around here. And if we take a left, this just goes into a dead end. There doesn't seem to be anything in here. So go back to where that chair is, press circle behind it to move it out of the way. And this is where you'll find the dead guy lying on the ground, the dead king. And then, as you see, you're going to pick up 3 ores off of his dead corpse, and that is pretty much the end of the Hail to the King quest. So just exiting here, skipping forward right here, there is a Nornir chest, if you want that. It gives health or rage, I forget. And there's also a Rift Tear right there. But then here we come to this chain and back to that magical gateway. You just need to go back to Brock and Sindri's shop. So go up to the magical gateway, say that you want to go to Brock's shop. Just walk up to it, press circle, and you can just scroll over Brock's shop. I was just scrolling up and down. But you want to go to Brock's shop, and that will be the end of the favor.
You boys look right beaming.
We found the materials. But they're so weird. How do you build a piece of armor out of something so...
None ya.
Nanya?
None your fucking business. Trade secret. We get our ways.
Oh.
And there you have it. That is the end to the 5th Dwarf favor. He will give you a Fire of Ares heavy runic attack, and that is the Like Oil and Water trophy. The runic attack isn't too bad. It's a 4 damage, 4 burn once it's upgraded all the way. And it is in a line if you like line runic attacks. But that's the end. That is all 5 dwarf favors, and once you complete all 5 of them, they're able to make a new dwarf armor, which not sure if it's good or not, I kind of forget, but I'm pretty sure I remember what I currently had at the time was much better. But if you guys like this video, you can leave a like on it, sub to the channel for more videos like this, more God of War videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.